Hey guys, it's Tasha again with another video. Ignore the background. Is it? It's very, yeah, okay. So we fixed the lighting here. And today this video is going to be about some more self-healing and boundaries, because a lot of people don't talk about boundaries and they don't really highlight why boundaries are important for self-healing. But if you can't make any boundaries, how is it that you're going to have boundaries with yourself? Because a lot of people don't talk about how you have to have boundaries with yourself. Yes, you have to have boundaries with people and yourself. It has to be both ways. It can't just be one way, both ways, okay? So we're gonna get into that. First, I would like to point out why boundaries are important to you personally and why they should be important to everybody. So the first thing I want to point out is, if you don't set any boundaries, how are people going to respect you? Think about it. Like, we don't have to care about people's opinions, but when it comes to respect, we should definitely want that from other people, right? So if you don't have any boundaries, they're just gonna think they can run over you. Trust me, I know, they're gonna think they can run over you. So if you're encouraging someone to disrespect a boundary, it's not gonna work out like that. So for example, one of the biggest boundaries I've seen in my life would have to be somebody making a joke. Like, that's one of the biggest boundaries, period. Like, someone making a joke and someone else is not comfortable with it, but they laugh at it. You know, not to make it awkward, not to make it like there's tension in the room, to make it seem like they can take a joke. You don't always have to take a joke. Let me tell y'all, there's a difference between taking a joke and setting boundaries, okay? Like, that's what people get messed up at. That's a very big thing. Boundaries and taking a joke is different, okay? If a joke made you upset, don't let nobody make you think that you have no right to be mad. Oh, it's just a joke. Why are you getting upset? Because I didn't like the joke. I just didn't like the joke. Oh, you're being sensitive. Okay, good, cool. You think I'm sensitive, now what? What you say don't matter. It doesn't, it just doesn't. If I don't like the joke, I don't like the joke. I'm setting a boundary with you. I don't want that joke to be told anymore. I don't like it. It made me upset. And just like when somebody makes a joke about you and you don't laugh, they automatically assume you're mad. Just because you don't like the joke don't mean that you're mad. You're not mad, you're just uncomfortable, because like, why would you make that joke? And I'm not saying it's bad on them, because maybe they didn't know your boundary. Like I said, if you don't set boundaries, they won't know your boundary. So maybe you never set the boundary. So they made the joke, thought it was cute. Okay, cool. Now let them know I don't like the joke. Simple. And I know with social anxiety and just anxiety, period, it's kind of hard to say stuff to people. But y'all gotta realize, if you don't say something, it'll keep happening and happening and happening. And then guess what? Your anxiety get worse, worse and worse, because you didn't set the boundary. You didn't stand up for yourself. You didn't do what was necessary so they can know that's not cool. Now, if you tell them I didn't like that joke, don't make no jokes like that. And they want to call you sensitive and they want to say, oh, it's just a joke, I can say it again. Don't mess with them no more. If I'm asking you for basic respect and telling you that what you said made me feel uncomfortable or made me feel kind of and you're sitting here saying it's just a joke, instead of saying, okay, I recognize, my bad, no more jokes like that. If they're doing that, then why have them there? They're just a waste of space. Come on now. Like, if they cannot maturely say, okay, I understand, I was wrong here, that's your boundary, cool, I'm respect your boundary. If they can't say that, then keep pushing. They can call you sensitive. They can go and say, oh, such sensitive, such as this. Cool. But are you going to be able to take the same joke? Like, and then they say, oh, if the joke was about me, then I would take it as a joke and I would laugh. Baby, but it's not about you. Don't flip the script, because it's not about you. They didn't make the joke about you. They didn't make the joke something based off of you. They made a joke about me. Therefore, I am offended, and I have a right to be offended. Just like if someone says something about one of your family members and they make a joke about them and you're like, okay, I didn't like that. That's your boundary. You don't want nobody to make jokes about a family member, no matter if it's a friend, best friend, or what. You say, okay, I don't like that joke. Why did you make that joke about my family? Oh, now it's a problem. Oh, now it's a problem. When your boundary is reached, it's a problem. But just the other day, I was sensitive. Oh, well, that was a joke about you. That's the difference. You can't make jokes about people's family. And the joke about you was about you personally. And I love myself more than I love anybody else. So why would I let somebody disrespect my boundary if I love myself more? Which ties to my other video, what I said. You have to love yourself more. It may sound harsh, it may sound kind of selfish, it may sound kind of self-centered. You have to love yourself more than anybody. You do. You have to love yourself more than your mom, your dad, your sister. You have to love yourself more than your pet. Yeah, you have to love yourself more than your dogs. You do. And your cats and your ferrets and your parrots and whatever animal you have, apply that. You have to love yourself the most. It's that simple. Because if you don't love yourself, how do you know what love is? How do you know what caring for someone is? Right? Right. So a boundary is a very important step, because if you can't even recognize where you would say, stop, hey, I don't like that, I'm uncomfortable. How do you expect to have a partner that is going to be able to respect you, or anybody else for that matter? Why do you think situations like this will be like, oh girl, you let her make that joke about you? Me personally, she wouldn't have said that joke about me, and now they looking at you weird. And like I said, you shouldn't care about nobody's opinion, but they're not wrong. They're not wrong. That was a boundary disrespected. Like, you have to realize, if you can't put boundaries down, then how do you respect yourself? So, example of a self boundary that a lot of people don't realize is a self boundary is when you say something that's kind of rude to yourself. Like, for example, if your body was shaped this way, you would look better. Pause. Let's not say that about ourselves. That is a self boundary. Because you're telling yourself automatically, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, just don't do it. And people don't realize that is a self boundary, because they kind of just think it's, oh, we're going to stop ourselves from thinking negative. And it is, but it is mainly a self boundary. You're telling yourself not to do that again. You're telling yourself, don't go that far. We're not doing that. And the boundary has to be placed with everyone. You have to let everybody know your boundary. Anybody that comes into your life needs to know your boundary. For example, if you don't let the people in your life know about your boundary, how do you expect to let the new people that's coming into your life, know about the boundary? It's just not going to work. Everybody has to know about the boundary. Even your mother has to know about the boundary. Your father. Everyone know. Don't be ashamed. Oh, you're sensitive. Like, what? I'm sensitive because I don't want you doing or saying a certain thing around me because I'm offended. And you're supposed to be my friend? Oh yeah, she's my friend, but she calls me sensitive when I tell her not to touch me. You see how that sounds? Stupid, dumb, idiotic, right? How is she your friend if she can't respect the fact that you don't want to be touched? Simple. It's okay if you don't want to be touched. It's okay if you don't want certain things said about you. If you can stop yourself, like, let's be real. We are the meanest person to ourselves, no matter who you are. We literally can be our own enemy. So if we are our own enemy, why would we want more enemies? If we're disrespecting our boundaries while we're trying to go on a self-healing journey and we're trying to change that, why would we let other people disrespect our self-healing journey? You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. You have to realize this is your life. You attract the people that you want. So if you're letting people that's in your life currently disrespect boundary after boundary after boundary after boundary, you're going to keep attracting people like that because you didn't set it straight. If you're not letting the people in your life know, this is my boundary, how do you expect the universe to know? How do you expect Ra to know, Zeus, God, whoever you believe in? How do you expect them to know? And yes, you could say, oh, they know everything about me. They're all knowing. Yes, that doesn't mean they're going to stop it from coming into your life because you didn't let that boundary be known. It's simple. The higher power, whoever you believe in or whatever you believe in, yes, it does know everything about you. But if you keep letting this parasite, this boundary being disrespected or a parasitic person come into your life, that's all you're going to get. That's all you're going to get. That's really all you're going to get. And that's why a lot of people wonder why in their love life they're disrespected. Because you're letting your friends, your family, anybody, anything disrespect you. And you're not putting a stop to it. That's why the boundaries being disrespected with our family and friends should be the first thing worked on. They're already in your life. You've already chosen your friends. So stop them from disrespecting your boundaries before you get into love. Because you're going to attract exactly what you allow to be around yourself. So if your family keeps saying and making like rude suggestions or keep saying rude or uncomfortable things around you, you have to stop them. And I know it's scary, and I know you don't want to speak up for yourself. Like I said, social anxiety, just a lot of things that come into play, but you have to do it. Anxiety is a process, because no matter what, even if you think you beat anxiety, it's still going to be lingering somehow, some way. You're still going to be worried about what you look like, but what we can do in the current moment is slow it down and basically just make it less than what it is now. That's what we can do. Again, just to recap, boundaries are important because we cannot respect ourselves if we let other people disrespect us. Because in a way, letting other people disrespect you is disrespecting yourself. If something somebody does or say rings a little bell in your head and you're like, I don't like that. And you can't say, you should stop that. I'm not comfortable. If you can't say that, then how do you respect yourself? You have to love and respect yourself enough to stop people, whether it comes off as rude, sensitive, just as that negative emotion. You have to realize that's their feeling. You cannot solve anybody else's feelings, especially if they're an adult. If you have a friend that thinks you're sensitive over something that you don't like, you cannot make them feel different. You can't. You just can't. That's how they feel. And it's not your job to make them feel different. I'll say it again. It is not your job to make them feel different. If they don't think you're sensitive, that's cool. Say their opinion don't matter. You can take it into account, but you don't have to make their opinion your whole world. You really don't. You can take it into account and you can hear it and you can listen to it, but you don't have to follow it. You don't have to take that opinion and make it your whole world. You don't. They can think you're sensitive. That's cool. Okay. Are they going to do anything about it? No. They're just going to think you're sensitive. Just like, let's say, for example, they made the joke and you told them you didn't like it. They called you sensitive. Okay, the day passes. It's been weeks. It's been months. It's been years. And every time you say you don't like something, they're like, oh, you're being sensitive. Why are you still holding on to that? What is your problem? And here comes the question again. Is that really your friend? Because why are they still calling you sensitive? Why are they still calling you sensitive? Why are you so upset that I told you that one action or joke did not make me feel okay? Why are you still mad? Is that really your friend? Is it really your friend? Is it really your partner? Is it really who you think you can trust? Like, it's just that simple. It really is that simple. There's no reason why it's been years, months, days, and weeks, and they're still calling you sensitive when you say you don't like something. Because eventually, them calling you sensitive is going to turn to them talking behind your back. It is. Them saying their opinion about you negatively in front of you is eventually them talking about you behind your back. And that's if they didn't start off talking behind your back. Talking about you negatively to your face is going to eventually roll into them talking behind your back if they are already talking behind your back. That's some fruit to think about. That's some fruit to eat. It really is. Because if you have all this emotion, you want to say I'm sensitive, you want to tell people not to make certain jokes about me because I'm going to cry and why are you saying all that to somebody else? Again, you did not set that boundary. And if they keep calling you sensitive, if they keep saying this and that about you, some people don't need to be in your life. I'm just saying it like that. You have to make punishment and rewards with people in your life. And that's a little weird to say because it sounds like you're training a pet, but that's what it is. You have to give rewards and punishments with people in your life. Just like my last video, I told y'all have to basically stop letting people get in your ear about what you look like. Really, you can do what you want. You can lose weight, you can gain weight. That's not the point. The point is you have to stop letting those people get in your ear. Right? Lose weight for yourself. If you want to gain weight for yourself. If you want to get surgery, do it for yourself. Not because your man told you that you will look better like this. If your man sits here and says, oh, you will look better with a bigger butt and I'll pay for it. Like, I'll literally pay for your BBL. You just have to get the fat transferred into surgery. And your first thought is, oh, that's going to hurt. I don't know if I want to do this. Stop right there. You don't know if you want to do this? Don't do it. Don't do it. Because he's not going to go through the pain. He might help you and kind of like work with you around the pain, but he's not going to go through it. And then who's to say y'all going to stay together forever? Who has a book of their life? Who has a book of them living all the way to their death? Nobody. So how you know you're going to be with them? Why are you getting the surgery that you don't want to get for them? And that also plays into boundaries. Tell that man he does not have the right to tell you you will look better with a bigger butt. Set that boundary. What's going to happen, just like I said, he's going to keep disrespecting you. You see how it went from your family disrespecting you, your friends disrespecting you, and then you finally get a man or woman, and now they're disrespecting you. Tell them they don't have the right to say that. And if they get upset, you're not with the right one. This might be a lesson. I'm saying that right now. This might be a lesson. That person just might be a lesson. This might be. They have some maturing to do. They're here to help you mature, and also they're here to help you mature and to help them mature. And when you're in relationships with people and y'all still learn lessons, it's a exchange. You give me this lesson, I give you this lesson. You help me mentally, I help you mentally. So boundary, set it. If you don't want the disrespecting of your boundaries crossing over into other people and eventually into your love life and eventually to your kids and eventually to their kids, which is how generational trauma really kind of starts. That's one of the main reasons, but we're not getting into that. If you don't want it to be like that, then set the boundary. Pass the message on. Tell somebody they're not sensitive because they set their boundary. You just don't want that stuff. You don't like hearing that stuff. You don't like being touched. You just don't like being around certain things. That is okay. You're human. I will say this in all my videos. You are human. You are a human. If you don't like something, that's okay. You're not programmed to like everything. Do not blame yourself. Do not blame whatever or who created you. Don't blame them. Everything works with a purpose. So if you don't like something and it makes you uncomfortable or it makes you upset, that's fine. Take that thing out of your life or set the boundary and let it know. You can keep doing that. We're not going to keep being here together. And I know it's hard letting go of lovers and friends and family. I know it's hard, but you just got to do it. You just have to do it. And don't let nobody make you feel bad about it. Don't. What they'll do is, like, let's say, for example, you cut your aunt off. The aunt will reach out to your mother. Why is she cutting me off? She's so disrespectful. She's so rude. Now your mother coming. Why'd you do that to your aunt? That's so bad. And this and that. And you're like really bad and disrespectful. Why would you do that? Because she made a joke? Like, you're so sensitive. Mama. You're next. You're next. Sorry to say it, but you're next. You're next. Instead of you asking me why it made me uncomfortable, you're coming at me because I set a boundary. You're next. You can hit the road too. And I know that's, like I said, I know everything I'm saying is harder done than said, but I'm not telling y'all nothing I ain't had to do myself. Cut friends off. Cut family members off. We can be cordial at family events or whenever I see you, hey, I'm doing good. Yeah. We can be cordial, but you don't have my number. We don't talk every day. This is a once and a run into you type thing. This is a once and run into you type of thing because you disrespected my boundary. I've had a lot of family members do stuff, and if I name some of this stuff, y'all probably be like, huh? Yeah, they call me a lot of names. They said a lot of things behind my back. And mind you, they've only said this stuff because I was shy and I was antisocial. I'll say that. So imagine people saying stuff about you just because you're shy and you don't want to come out your room and you're antisocial. Calling you all types of names. It's weird for a bunch of adults, right? It's really weird for a bunch of adults. Yeah, that's how adults act sometimes. They will do stuff because they think it's cute, but set that boundary. And if they don't respect your boundary, they can go. You can bye-bye. You can leave. I don't need you. I don't need you. I'm already going through a life experience as a human. And I got to worry about what my country is doing. I got to worry about if it's going to affect me. And of course it is because it's your country. I got to worry about bills. I got to worry about this. I got to worry about that. And I have to worry about people around me. I only want to worry about people who are genuinely here for my good and for positivity. I don't worry about people who's here for negativity. You're my lesson, baby. Give me my lesson and go. So I can get the crying, I can get the sorrow, I can get everything over with. Give me my lesson and go. Give me my lesson and go. I don't have to worry about you no more. I want to focus on the positive people. I want to focus on the great people, the people who actually have my back, the people who actually believe in me. I don't want to keep focusing on you. You're a waste of time, energy, and space because you didn't respect my boundary. That's how serious it is. That's how serious it is. Simple. If you don't set boundaries, you're only making your human experience longer and worse. You really are. So that is why boundaries are important. You're only making your human experience harder and worse by not setting boundaries. By not setting boundaries. And a lot of times, some people don't have social anxiety. Like when they first started off, they were good. And then as they met more people, as they heard more things, as they experienced more things, now they have social anxiety. And a lot of times it happened because y'all didn't set boundaries. Let's be real. Social anxiety can come out anywhere. It can happen by any time. But a lot of times that people have social anxiety is because they not set boundaries. It's because they did not set boundaries. Am I saying all of social anxiety is caused by boundaries? No, heck no. It can really happen to anybody out of anywhere. But I'm saying it's a good percentage of the time it's caused by not setting boundaries. You can go through your whole childhood as a extrovert, your whole teenagehood, and then you get to young adulthood. And what happens? You suddenly have social anxiety. You've met more people, you've been through more things. And some of those people weren't nice. And you continue to let them disrespect you. And you place no boundaries. So you kept having your head filled with negativity. And that's what caused your social anxiety. You've been good your whole childhood, your teenhood. And now that you're a young adult, it got worse because people are filling your ear up with stuff. And now you're anxious. You're anxious. A lot of times. You did not set the boundary. You did not. Said, I'm not a therapist. I don't have a degree on, but this is for me personally. I'm telling you from experience. Boundaries can prevent a lot of things. It can't prevent everything. It cannot prevent everything, but it can prevent a lot of things. It really can. But if you can sit here and tell yourself, oh, we're not going to say that about ourselves. We're not going to get ourselves like that. You have boundaries within yourself. Why don't you have boundaries with other people? If you can tell your own self not to say something, not to do something, because you do not feel comfortable with it, then why can you not tell the people? Look at that person as if they were your inner self saying that thing about you, and say what you would say to yourself. And a simple way to really set boundaries with people is to make them look stupid. They make the joke, don't laugh. Everybody else laughing. This is you. Oh, that was a joke? Okay. Oh, you didn't think it was funny? Why are you not laughing? You're so sensitive. I'm sensitive because I'm not laughing? Rebecca, you're telling me I'm sensitive because I'm not laughing? You're the sensitive one. If they have to tell you that you're sensitive over a joke that you didn't like or respect, they're sensitive. What you're not saying is you feel awkward. You made a joke about me and I didn't laugh. And everybody else is laughing, but I'm not laughing. So now it's awkward for you because I didn't accept your joke. So now you're being sensitive. I did not laugh at your joke. And you're embarrassed. You're ashamed. And now you're calling me sensitive when you're the sensitive one, because me not laughing at your joke that you made about me is me being sensitive. You're sensitive. You are sensitive. Because why does my laugh matter to you so much? Why does my laugh have to matter to you so much? You're deflecting. You're being sensitive and you want to reflect it back on me. You want to make people think that I'm the bad person because I didn't laugh. But at my big ass age, I can choose whether to laugh or not. You're being sensitive because you wanted me to laugh at that disrespecting, uncomfortable joke. And now that I'm not laughing, you realize that I'm serious and you want to call me sensitive so everybody else can point fingers at me instead of pointing fingers at you because your joke wasn't funny. I didn't think it was funny. At my big age, I'm not going to think it's funny, period. Set boundaries, y'all. Start now. Whatever age you're seeing this video, start the boundaries. Start them. I don't care. You can be an elder. Start the boundaries. Start the boundaries. Yeah, it don't matter what age, start the boundary. It's going to be harder, of course, for different groups and different people and different ages. I'm going to say that again. It's going to be harder for different people, different groups, different ages. But once it turns out for the long run and people stop doing that certain thing, you're going to feel very self-rewarding. You're going to feel a lot more respect for yourself because you stood up for yourself. And you set that boundary. You let them be known. No, we're not laughing at that over here. It's just not giving. Yeah, so start the boundary. That's why boundaries are important, because a lot of people think it just stays where it's at. No, it'll flow into whoever else you meet. It'll flow into the new people you meet. And you're wondering why the person you just met is disrespecting you. The energy. It's the energy. You didn't set the boundary. You didn't have enough respect for yourself to set that boundary. You allowed yourself to be held back by yourself to not set that boundary. So now the new people in your life are also disrespecting that boundary. Who knows? Maybe the new person you just met yesterday, you hope to be friends with forever because y'all click so well. Y'all just click like this, like y'all click so well, but you didn't set the boundary. So now when you're actually saying something, they feel offended. Whereas if you just met this person again and they said the same thing and you would cut them off right then and there, like say, hey, no, don't do that. Don't say that. I don't like that. Don't touch me. It would have been better. And I'm saying it again because I know a lot of people, they hear things but don't listen. Listen to this. It is going to be harder for different people, different groups, different ages, different everything. It's not going to be, some people will have it easier than others. Yeah. They may not have it completely easy, but they may have it easier than others. Oh, Tasha, you don't know my culture. Oh, you don't know my family. You don't know my friends. It's not going to be that easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not going to be easy. Some people can literally sit here and say, I don't like that joke. They'll be like, okay, my bad. I'm not going to make that joke anymore. They don't make that joke anymore. Some people are going to have it that easy. Good for you because you have the mature people in your life. You have the mature people in your life and not a lot of people are mature. So keep them because you're not going to find them all the time. But the rewards are going to be very fruitful. In the future, you'll respect yourself more and you'll also find a new voice for yourself because standing over yourself and setting a boundary can also help with your confidence. It can also help with your overall self-healing journey, of course. If you're not allowing anyone to disrespect you, then you have no room to disrespect yourself. If you're willing to go out and say, hey, I don't find that very, that's uncomfortable for me, then you can tell yourself, hey, that's uncomfortable for me. Don't do that again. It's going to take a while. It is. I'm telling y'all, it's going to take a while. And it may be faster for some people than others, but it's good to start now so you can know in the future that you already have it down packed. Your higher self is going to thank you for doing that because now your higher self can cut people off quick. Before you probably stuttered, I don't like that. I'm comfortable. Oh, I'm sensitive. Oh, I'm sorry. But the more you keep doing it, the more you realize you're not sorry. It don't matter if they're uncomfortable. You're setting your boundary. And then your higher self, you in the future basically is going to be like, hey, cut it off. Don't like that. And whether they say you're sensitive or not, you're not going to hear because you've been doing this for a while now. You know how it goes. You've been doing this for a while. The only thing that can shock you at this point after saying and speaking out for yourself to so many different people and things, the only thing that can shock you at this moment, okay, I'm sorry, I respect that. No more jokes like that. And they never make a joke like that again. That's the only thing that can shock you because most people are going to feel like you're being sensitive. Most people are going to feel like you're doing this, doing that. But when you find that one that respects it and understands it, you're going to feel very refreshed. You're going to be shocked. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to come on here and say today is boundaries, very important. You don't have to make everybody respect you, but if they're in your circle, okay, we have to respect each other. Strangers, I don't care. Like, strangers don't have to respect you. It's not our job to fix everybody's opinions and feelings, but the people that you choose to have in your circle should respect you. Again, the people that you choose to have in your circle should respect you. You don't have to have strangers respect you because they're not in your life. You probably won't see them again. Bye. I don't care. But if you're choosing to keep them in your life, in your circle, their phone number in your phone, and you're talking almost every day or at least very frequently, yeah, they're going to have to respect you. We can't communicate. We can't be in a relationship if you don't respect me. So boundaries, y'all. Boundaries. And if you don't set boundaries, it can turn into a lot of worse situations. So boundaries. We got to have this. It's something we got to have. It's something we cannot skip. So yeah, I just wanted to say that to y'all and come on here and just give y'all that advice because the older you get, it's going to be harder to fight those boundaries because you have to fight a lot more for them boundaries because people you don't know for 20 years been making that same joke. And now you about to come in here and tell them, I don't like that joke after 20 years. It's going to be harder. So set the boundary. Set the boundary. Even if you have to indirectly post it on social media, set the boundary. See who watches your story. So when you meet up with them or you contact them and they disrespect your boundary, you can be like, bitch, you just seen what I said I don't like. You just seen that. So why would you come on here and do that? Even if you have to indirectly do it, do it. So when you see them face to face or you talk or whatever the case may be, and they still disrespect your boundary, you can still give them 1 point. You can still give them 1 point. And the points are good. The points are, bitch, you don't have a lot of time to keep disrespecting me. So when they see whatever you posted and you know they've seen it and they still come to you and they do what they did that made you feel uncomfortable, you could be like, okay, 1 point. Because you knew what I said. You seen my post. Don't play with me. But yeah, you guys, I hope you guys took something from this video, even if you have to kind of switch it and apply it to yourself, because I know everything I said and every example I said is not going to apply to a lot of people. I just hope that you're able to take it and apply it. And again, the general ideal is boundaries are good. Boundaries need to be set. It's not about anything else. It's not about the small things like losing weight, gaining weight. It's not about fixing your hair, fixing your eyes, fixing your acne. It's not about your body type. It's not about anything of that. The video point is boundaries. Set them. You're going to need them. Okay? So once again, my name's Tasha. I hope the best for everyone. Let's keep advancing on this journey because I'm also still setting boundaries. But I have cut a lot of people off. I said some, but the more I thought about it, a lot of people have cut off for me. Cut a lot of people off because they're not respecting my boundaries. So, yeah. Even if you don't want to cut them off, let them know. What you said was not cute. I don't like it. Period. So yeah, I hope you can take something from this video, and I hope it gives you more knowledge than you had before. I hope it seems helpful and you can actually apply it to yourself, even if you have to switch it around. Yeah, I just hope you guys can take the video. Have a good night, because again, it's night. I don't know why I record this at night. Be a little procrastinating. That's another thing I should talk about. Yeah. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're at. And let's make some more progress on our self-healing journey. That's one of the big things as a soul experience a human life is a self-healing journey. So let's get this right. Let's get this tight. So in the next life, we can chill. And the lessons won't be as much as this life. We won't have to have as much lessons as we have in this life, okay? So let's get it started. Let's get it rolling. Let's do this because we just relax. We want to relax in the next life. So yeah. Bye, guys. I hope you can take the video once again. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If you didn't hear today, I love you. I love you. I don't care. From one soul experiencing a human life, I love you. So from one soul to another, one human to another, I love you. It doesn't matter what's going on. I love you. We're good. Like, It don't matter. Let's advance.